Hello everybody, this is your main man Keith here from Keith Plays PS4 927. Happy Monday afternoon to all my awesome viewers on this awesome channel. Today we are in the conference semifinals game 2, as you guys saw from the last episode. In game 1, I will have the link to the video. We beat the LA Clippers 94-92, so that was the last game, so we're still in the Staples Center in the 2-1-3 and the 3-1-0 in Los Angeles, California against the Clippers. So, in other words, this is game 2, and after this game, we're going to be in Minneapolis, home of the T-Wolves in Target Center. So the Clippers might win this game, and then there will be a game 5. So we'll see you at tip-off. Alright, we're prepared for game 2 of this conference semifinals here in Los Angeles. The Clippers have won the tip-off. Reggie Jackson has possession for the Los Angeles Clippers. So the Clippers are going to pass some ball movement there. Serge Ibaka knocks down a 3 for the Clippers. And we got D'Angelo Russell, the Ohio State product, knocks that down from 2 in the mid-range area for the T-Wolves. So Reggie Jackson has possession of the basketball. He's going to dribble it out, and it looks like Jackson, he is going to get that in for 2 points. So the Clippers are taking that 3-point lead throughout the playoffs. Reggie Jackson has 9 points per game, 43% in field goal percentage, which is less than 50%. I mean, he could possibly improve within the next few shots and make that improve a little bit. And Paul George is taking that lead. So this is the first time the Clippers are leading in this one. So we're going to shoot that in from 2 points. So it's now 8-6 lead. Karl-Anthony Towns scored his first 2 points of the game. So Kawhi Leonard, the Los Angeles native, passes this one off to Paul George. And he's going to pass it to Marcus Morris Sr. And then Reggie Jackson makes that in for 2 points. So it's now a 10-6 lead. D'Angelo Russell has possession of the basketball. So he is going to knock down a 3 from behind the arc. And he is going to make this in. So the T-Wolves lead the series 1-0. And with this lead, the Clippers might end up winning this game because they've taken that lead. So they saw Minnesota use no defense at all. So D'Angelo Russell passes this off to Karl-Anthony Towns. So he's going to get that in there. And that's going to be a 1-point trail by the T-Wolves. So both teams, they're 5 for 5 in field goals. So that's something that I'd like to see there. I mean, both teams, they haven't missed a single shot in the hoop as of yet. So Karl-Anthony Towns, he makes that in. So he has one less point than the rest of his team. I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns is leading this team in steals. And he led the league in points for like the first game of the first round. So that's something interesting. So D'Angelo Russell passes this to Karl-Anthony Towns, makes that in there. So it's now a 17-15 lead for the Clippers. So LA's leading it by 2 in the Staples Center. They're going to pass this off to Kawhi Leonard, and then Marcus Morris Sr. Leonard does pick up that assist. And I'm going to pass this to Malik Beasley, and there is a foul. It's a charging, so it is on us. So we knocked down one of the Clippers defenders, so that's why we technically didn't get the point. And Paul George, he has the ball. Palmdale native in Los Angeles County knocks down that 3 there. So it's now a 22-15 lead. So I'm going to use some Karl-Anthony Towns. And there's a foul there. So it's on DeMarcus Cousins, the former Sacramento Kings player. So it's a reach-in, so shooting foul rather. And it's now 22-18, 43.4 seconds to go before this first quarter ends in LA. So Patrick Beverley loses a basketball. Karl-Anthony Towns makes the steal. He's going to get that in for at least 2 there. And it's now 22-20. So Clippers have been leading this first quarter off to a good start. I mean, Batum makes that in. So it's now 24-20 here in Los Angeles. So Malik Beasley, he gets that in there. And it's now 24-22. And DeMarcus Cousins there passing the ball around to Paul George. And Paul George, he is going to pass this off to Beverly, and Paul George will pick up that assist there. So we'll see you guys in the second quarter. Alright, so it's now 27-24. The Clippers lead it by 3. They've had points off of assists, 19 of them, and they've only had like 5 3-pointers in this game. So that's something there that the Clippers... So that's why the Clippers are taking a little larger lead than us. I mean, they started their lead on the way there, so D'Angelo Russell, he has possession of the basketball. He's going to knock down a 3 for the Timberwolves, so he knocks that down, so it's 29-27. So it's a 2-point lead. First lead of the game for the T-Wolves, but Clippers in this case, they might come back. We don't know that for sure, but with their strategic offensive skills the Clippers have today, 19 points off of assists or whatsoever. Ivica Zubac passes it to Paul George, and then Patrick Beverly passes this one to DeMarcus Cousins. So Patrick Beverly would pick up that assist there. So it's now tied here in Los Angeles. So D'Angelo Russell's going to pass this to Malik Beasley. And we accidentally step out of bounds. Or if we didn't step out of bounds, we made that 3. He shot it in there, but he didn't necessarily make it in. So Paul George has possession of the basketball. So Anthony Edwards, it's a reach and foul. And we are going to take a 1-minute break. Alright, so the T-Wolves, they have 26 points. I think from mid-range. Well, 9 points from mid-range. So Serge Ibaka, he's going to pass this off to Patrick Beverly. So Patrick Beverly, we had that 1-point lead there. So Karl Anthony Towns, he's going to pass it to D'Angelo Russell. So he's going to pass this to Karl Anthony Towns there. And he's going to make a monster dunk over this Clippers D. So the T-Wolves are leading this by 1. And Reggie Jackson passed it on the other side of the court, and the Clippers take a break. Alright, so now Serge Ibaka makes the dunk there, the former Toronto Raptors player. He won the championship back in 2019 with Kawhi Leonard. So we intercept that off to Marcus Morris Sr., the identical twin brother of Markieff Morris, who played for the LA Lakers. So Josh Okogie has possession of the basketball. So Josh Okogie, he is going to get that in for 2 points. So the Clippers are now taking that 1-point lead. Neither team has missed a single field goal all game. So they have possession. So Malik Beasley claimed that tipped off basketball. So that was something there. I mean, the Timberwolves are bouncing back, taking the lead off and off again. But the Clippers are a competitive team. They lost the last episode, trying to reverge and getting a win in this episode. So now Josh Okogie has possession of the basketball. There is a foul there. It's on Kawhi Leonard, so it's a shooting foul for the T-Wolves. And it appears that Josh Okogie will make that in for 1. And will he make the second one in? The answer is yes. Alright, now we're going to play some basketball. Josh Okogie. And it's now tipped off to the Clippers. So the Clippers, they're going to get this one in. So they score the 50th point of the game. So let's see how Ricky Rubio gets it in. So he's going to get it in there for 2 points. We'll see you guys in the second half. Alright, so now the Clippers are taking this 4-point lead over the T-Wolves. And in the first half, this Clippers team, they had 15 assists. So they didn't mess around with the ball. So they knew they wanted to score some points and claim some assists there, which I will explain the statistics towards the end of the episode. And Reason why I do this is because I like to share the numbers of what happened throughout the game, like a kind of like a brief summary of what happens in like a story. Like back in elementary school, I used to have to do a lot of summaries about what I've read and all that. So, kind of like a summary about what happened throughout this game. So, Paul George, there was a foul there. So, 29 points for Karl Anthony Towns, 3 steals, and he hasn't missed a single shot all game. So, what's the possibility of taking the T Wolves a 1 point lead? He just made it in. So, it's a 99 out of 10 chance, 9.5 out of 10 chances, and the Clippers have reverged the lead. So it's now 14 points for Serge Ibaka, and 8 of them are which in the paint. So Malik Beasley's going to step back. This has been our hard-fought game. So it's now, this is kind of like the game of football, how they fight back and win this game. So Marcus Morris Sr. makes that dunk, happens for the LA Clippers. So D'Angelo Russell passes this to Karl Anthony Towns. He's going to make that splash for the T-Wolves. So it's now 60-58. 32 points. That's the number of his jersey there. And Serge Ibaka with 14. Both scoring leaders in this game for both teams. So it's now tied 60-60. So D'Angelo Russell passes this to Karl Anthony Towns. He's going to make that in. So the Clippers are going to take a timeout. We're going to take a 30-second to a minute break. Okay, Patrick Beverley passes this around, and Ivica Zubac makes that in. So this game's pretty much still tied from moments throughout the game. I mean, the Clippers did take that first point lead pretty seriously because they didn't want to be trailed 2-0 at this point of the conference semifinals. I mean, do you guys think that the Clippers and T-Wolves will go to Game 7? Comment down below if you think so and give me a reason why. So the Clippers, it was out of bounds. They lost the ball there. We tried to attempt to steal, but that did not actually work. So this means Nick Batum passes this to Ivica Zubac. So Zubac, he's going to pass it to Nick Batum there. He's going to make that in. So it's now 68-68 all. So I'm passing this to Karl Anthony Towns there. Makes the spectacular dunk for the T-Wolves, 70-68. T-Wolves leading by 2. Alright, Patrick Beverley, he is going to pass this around. So he's going to go up there, and he gets blocked. Clippers still have possession of the basketball. I mean, Rubio did a decent block there, but he would have had it if it wasn't out of bounds. So T-Wolves defense using their hands. Patrick Beverley, that's the lob pass. So it's now 72-72. 36 seconds to go in this one. So Josh Okogie, he's going to get that one in for the T-Wolves. So it's now 74-72. Kawhi Leonard, they're thinking about passing this around to Luke Kennard, former Detroit Pistons. So Josh Okogie makes that steal. And I'm actually going to attempt a three-pointer on this guy. I mean, I'm going to pass it to Rubio and then to Josh Okogie. So he's going to step back, pull it back from 3, and it's now 77-72. We'll see you guys in the 4th. Alright, assist of the game, State Farm coming right up. D'Angelo Russell passes this one off to Karl Anthony Towns there. He just made some monstrous dunks in today's episode. So the Clippers have possession of the basketball to begin the 4th. So now Reggie Jackson has possession of it. So he is dribbling it around. So he's going to get it. And it gets blocked. So Malik Beasley picks this one up. So Beasley there that time. He gets that in for 2 points. So it's now 79-74. Biggest lead. Clippers by 7. Lead changes 13. And there were 13 ties all in all in this game. So you'll just never know what's going to happen throughout this game. I mean, there could be some minimal changes throughout. Josh Okogie gets that in for the 81st point of the game for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Alright, D'Angelo Russell with 10 points. Reggie Jackson has 9, but comparison to that is he really missed 1 field goal. So this is great ball movement, and we intercept that off to the LA Clippers. So Paul George dunks that in for the Los Angeles Clippers. So it's now 81 to 80. So I'm going to pass this off to Ricky Rubio. And let's see if this is a possible challenge to you, if he can make it in from half court. He almost made it, but that's going to be passing the court from one side to the other. So the T-Wolves have now taken that lead. So we're going to do the same challenge here, but we were really close. I mean, you have to admit, that wasn't even close from the hoop there that time. It really wasn't. So there's a foul. It's on D'Angelo Russell. It's a shooting. So this means Reggie Jackson gets to go to the free throw line. And will he make this one count for the Clippers? The answer is yes. All right, now Josh Okagi's going to pass that one to D'Angelo Russell. Anthony Edwards actually gets that in there for 2 more points. So it's not 87 to 83. So really, Kawhi Leonard has possession of the basketball. He's going to dunk that in, the LA native. He went to San Diego State for college, and 15 points for him, 10 of them in the paint. So he's been one of the best players in Southern California. I mean, they've been a great duo for over the last 2 years, Leonard and George. I mean, both LA natives, signing with their hometown team. I mean, they both grew up as Los Angeles Lakers fans, but still, they still represent the city very well, actually. And Leonard picked 2, and Paul George picked 13, PG-13. So they have 2-1-3. So that's Los Angeles' area code. Oh, and it's a block. So it's by Karl-Anthony Towns. Hope we don't lose it, but the Clippers have to pick it back up. And Marcus Morris Sr., it's another block. It's a blocking frenzy here in this. So Reggie Jackson makes that 3, so it's now 94 to 85. So I'm going to pass it to Jaden McDaniels. So Jaden McDaniels, he's going to go up and he's going to jump up high and he dunks that in. And we will see you guys at the end of the game. So the Clippers win this episode. So it's now a tied series 1-1. And they win this game 98-87. So the Clippers, they led throughout this first quarter. They didn't want to stop the T-Wolves. And then there were several ties, and then there were a couple comebacks by the T-Wolves. But however, the Clippers win this episode 98-87. We'll see you at statistics. Alright, since the Clippers won, we're going to start with them. Reggie Jackson, 19 points, 5 assists on the day. And that's pretty much it. Kawhi Leonard had 17 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists on the day with 2 dunks. Serge Ibaka had 16 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 3 dunks on the day. Paul George did wind up with 12 points and all, and had a dunk there. Karl-Anthony Towns, 38 points, 1 rebound, 3 steals, and 6 dunks on the day. Josh Okagie had 15 points, 1 steal, and 1 block. So that wraps it up. We'll see you guys next episode.